I would say this journey started with my first call to the priesthood. I was called to the office of elder, and I grappled with that. You know, you have a year to think about that. I took the entire year, and I thought, and I prayed, and I grappled, and I talked to people who I thought were wise people in my life. And it took a lot to get myself to the place where I could see that calling for me and also see my willingness to completely give an unconditional yes to that. But once I gave that unconditional yes, it's been a process of just continuing to say yes when I feel like I'm sensing God's call. So when I was called to the office of high priest, it took some consideration, but not nearly the amount of wrestling, because I felt like I was already committed to saying yes to God when I felt God's call. It's been a faithful journey of saying yes and a journey of blessing. John 10:10 has been one of my favorites for a long time. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. It speaks to me so much of the joy that we're called to have, of the kind of life that God desires for us. I think God created us because He wanted us to enjoy this life we have together and this life we have in God and in Christ, and that we're called to share that joyfully. So that call to abundant life has been a kind of a guiding light for me for a long time. When I think about this role, I think about the church's journey over maybe the last 10 years or so, and the conversation that's been growing around spiritual formation. And I think the church is in such an amazing place, and I have such a different understanding of spiritual formation because of that conversation. I would love us to have that kind of conversation about generosity. And not just the money part, that too, but about what it means to be a generous disciple and what it means to live generous lives in Jesus Christ. I have some ideas, but I would really love to have this conversation with the church about what it means to live truly generous lives as disciples of Christ. I'm really interested in that conversation. Hope I can be a part of it.